And welcome to another episode of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey, being joined by Alan Tyson from Lee Hill & Johnson Insurers. We're up top of ERA Hirsch Real Estate Team, buying or selling real estate. Talk to the experts downstairs at ERA Hirsch Real Estate Team. All right, Alan, we're getting ready to break for Christmas in just a little bit. But before we get to that, we've got a couple more pieces in the puzzle at Georgia Southern for the football. And we knew last week who our offensive coordinator was going to be, Brian Cook from Georgia Tech. And since we did our last show, a couple other pieces have fallen into place, and that is our wide receivers coach comes from Cal Poly, where he was with Brian Cook as well. He'll be our wide receivers coach here, Justin Wood. And then we also have an old familiar face coming back to Statesboro, Bob Bodine, who was here with Paul Johnson and his staff, carried over a little bit with the Seawalk staff. Since then, he was the offensive coordinator at VMI, where they led the nation, I believe, in rushing. He was also at the Citadel as their, I believe, offensive coordinator.
He was there 4 years. 3 of those he was the offensive coordinator.
And then most recently, he was the offensive line coach at Army with Jeff Monken. Your thoughts on the last couple with there for the football staff?
Well, again, I think it's obviously pointing us in the direction of rushing the football. With the credentials that we see coming with these assistants that Coach Summers is hiring. Justin Wood comes here after being at Cal Poly since 2009. He started out as the wide receivers coach there. He went on to be the quarterback coach starting in 2013, and then in the 2016 season, he was actually the offensive coordinator at Cal Poly, and they're heavy into the run. They rushed for over 4,000 yards this year, and they had 39 touchdowns on the ground, averaged over 34 points a game. So he obviously comes from a rushing background. I'm assuming that what his job will be with our wide receivers, not only from a pass receiving standpoint, will be also getting downfield and doing a good job of blocking,
which I think
perimeter.
We can all say they struggled a bit on that this year, getting on the perimeter.
They did.
And as for Bob Bodine, comes here, offensive line coach, very familiar with the triple option. I think he's pretty much everywhere he's been, that's what they've run. And I would say that blocking scheme for what they'll be asking them to do is a little bit different, I think, than what our former offensive line coach's background was.
Right.
So I think this will all fall in line. And to me, what stands out is the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, and the wide receivers coach have all been OCs at some point in their careers. I can't imagine that's going to do anything but help them to all be able to get on the same page, knowing how important that is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that the 2 position coaches actually have been coordinators, and I don't think Brian has actually been a coordinator.
Well, that's true.
So they'll be able to help him probably with some of the administrative type stuff that comes along with being a coordinator. I think the 3 of them working together, I'm sure Bodine will probably he brings the blocking scheme from the under the center type flex option that he's been accustomed to, but I'm not sure how that works with regards to being in the shotgun. With that offense, it seems like that it lends itself to, particularly between the tackles, the fact that you get on the line of scrimmage in a hurry. When you start in the backfield with that kind of blocking, I think you'll probably see a little different scheme, but I'm sure he's familiar with all that as well, and it may be the combination of the 2.
Yeah, I've heard cut blocking, I think a lot of times is associated with that kind of a under the center triple option, but I've heard Paul Johnson say that's kind of a misnomer. We don't necessarily always cut block.
Right.
We do some zone blocking and things like that. So I think they'll be adaptable. And I would imagine there's going to be some terminology that all 3 will have from different places, and then they're going to have to find the right place to all meet. I do believe that Brian was the OC at Cal Poly when he was there. I'm not sure.
He
may have just been the quarterback's coach there, but I think he was the offensive coordinator before he went to Georgia Tech. So regardless of that, you got three minds that should be on the same page somewhat. So it should be helpful as opposed to different guys from different programs trying to get together.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, I think if our fans were concerned that we were getting away from the run, they should be ecstatic, because I don't think there's any doubt you'll see us try to rush the football next year and make that a priority.
All right, well, we're going to take a break right now. We'd like to remind everyone, for any legal advice you have in the Statesboro, Bullitt County area, you know the man to call, Lovett Bennett Jr., attorney at law, PC, Lovett's office located in downtown Statesboro. Back with more and upon further review in just a moment.
To stay ahead, a parent has to really be on the go and stop for school, stop for sports, stop for an intervention. But you don't have to stop for banking. To stay ahead with mobile online banking, bank ahead with Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Do you ever wonder what that 15% savings cost you in service?
What's the name on the account?
My name is Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Who is it?
Mary.
Oh,
My
okay.
name is Mary.
Right.
Are you even listening to me?
Sure.
At Glenn Davis Insurance, we get to know you as a person. To us, you're not just another number. Together with Auto Owners Insurance, we can develop an insurance plan tailored to your specific needs. Glenn Davis and Associates. Call or come by today.
Shifting gears a little bit, and we'll try to get with Brian Cook whenever he's available. I know he's coaching Georgia Tech through the bowl game, which is on the 31st, so it may have to be the first of the year before we get a chance to sit down with him. But shifting gears to basketball, Georgia Southern men doing pretty good there on the road in Florida. Knocked off Florida Gulf Coast, knocked off Florida International. They've got games at Winthrop and then back home on Thursday for a doubleheader with the women starting things off. They're going to be playing Fisk. Your thoughts? I guess the ladies came up just shy from a comeback on the road, and then you saw them play at home this week as well, weekend rather as well.
Right. Well, you know, I think that I heard Coach Byington or saw some quotes from Coach Byington after the Minnesota game, in which he was very disappointed in the way we played in that game, and mentioned that he felt like that maybe we had to make some changes. It does look like he's kind of adjusted his lineup a little bit, and they have won 2 in a row. They beat Florida. Of course, they lost to Florida Gulf Coast here, but then they beat Florida Gulf Coast on the road, and then from there went down to Miami and beat Florida International. Florida International's record not very good, but they played some teams that are pretty good. They played them real well and had opportunities to win, but just didn't. But what I saw in the 2 games, watching those games, was that we got off to better starts and we played a lot better defense. And I think that the team that we have, I mean, there's no doubt that offensively we have some folks that can score the basketball and we can spread that around. But what we've got to do and what those folks have got to be determined to do is play defense. And I think if we'll play defense for 40 minutes, you know, our athletic ability with regards to putting the ball in the basket, we should be very competitive in the Sun Belt. And of course, the women, they had a heartbreaker at Charleston Southern. They actually out-rebounded Charleston Southern. They, I think, shot more free throws. They shot a higher percentage. They had fewer turnovers, and they still got beat, which that's an unusual combination. But I actually went out to the field house and saw the game on Saturday that they played against Central Florida. And Central Florida is in the same league with Connecticut and some of those teams, and they've got an excellent basketball team. They rebound the ball, they shoot it well inside the arc, and they've got a couple of girls that can fill it up from three-point land. So, you know, we made a couple of short runs in that game, but Central Florida just basically fended us off and ended up with a 20-point victory.
Yeah, well, the ladies will have a chance to bounce back, hopefully at home. They're playing a little tougher team than maybe the guys are this week. As for the men, you did mention it. I think what stands out to me more about this year's team is the defense. You know, that Radford game at Savannah, they really had to play some good defense to end up winning that game. And I think that defense is really going to come in handy, because if they don't have it offensively, you want to be able to have something you can fall back on to help you get through those tight spots. The other thing that I've noticed this year about Georgia Southern is it seems like when they're not as dependent on the three-point shot. They still have guys that can make it, but they also have guys like Ike Smith and the new guy Gladden, who can drive and score. Don't have to necessarily have all 4 or 5 guys outside shooting threes in order to win.
That's right. And Ike Smith, I mean, this kid's just a sophomore, and he has got a ton of talent, and he can score not only probably the place where he's probably the least likely to score is from outside the three-point arc, but he's good inside the arc, and he can also take it to the basket and score it and get fouled, which is what you need. You need to be able to score, get fouled, and then make those free throws. And so, you know, we're a team that we don't have a lot of tall guys inside. We've got some. You know, Monte Glenn's got a little girth to him, and he does a good job. He can score the basketball. McConnell can score the basketball, but we don't have one of those big post players, you know, like some of these other teams at our level have. So we do have to depend somewhat on scoring, although maybe inside the perimeter, not necessarily down on the lower blocks, but. I'm like you. I think that offensively, you know, we can score the ball inside the arc, not have to depend solely on three-pointers. But on the other hand, you know, I think you can. If you come out to Hannah Fieldhouse, you can look forward to see a lot of threes going up.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have our high school segment brought to you by Ogeechee Technical College.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we celebrate 100 years, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Lee Hill and Johnston Insurers in Statesboro is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Dr. Sergio Dalsenia of Family Internal Medicine reminds you that Kathy Shriver, who specializes in diabetes education and consultations, is now exclusive to Family Internal Medicine. Call for an appointment. Their office located in the Cotton Ridge Plaza on Fair Road.
All right, it's now time for our high school segment brought to you by Ogeechee Technical College. When we come back, we'll hear from the new head football coach at Statesboro High, Jeff Kaiser.
I'm Brian Reliza.
My name is Michaela Graham.
And I'm an echocardiography graduate.
I'm studying to be a veterinary technician.
And I am OTC.
And I am OTC.
We believe every path is different and every student is unique. Whether you're interested in dual enrollment, an associate degree, or earning credit toward a higher degree, a diploma, or certificate, Ogeechee Tech can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Visit ogeecheetech.edu to find out how you can go anywhere from here.
All right, Alan. Well, I had a chance to sit down with the new head coach of the Statesboro Blue Devils, a person we're quite familiar with in this area, head coach from Tattnall County, now at Statesboro High, Jeff Kaiser.
Great opportunity. Next year will be my 22nd year coaching, and as a personal goal, it's always been my goal to make it back here in this capacity. That's never been a secret. Very excited about it, a lot of passion for this place. This is where I grew up from my childhood. Got a relationship with every coach, back to Coach Bill Schofield, Coach Brooks, Coach Webb, Coach Jack Webb, Buzz Busby, Steve Pennington. I've either played, worked for, or worked with all those guys, so it's a tremendous opportunity and big shoes to fill. We want to make Statesboro High School football relevant again and get back to when folks play us, respecting us, and that's we'll try to instill physical and mental toughness. That's the biggest thing, and get the strength and conditioning program where we want it, and hit the ground running, dig in, and grind it out.
How tough is it for you to replace a guy that I know meant a lot to you with Steve Pennington?
It's tough, but at the same time, Coach Pennington and I have communicated over the years, and I think he's happy that I get this opportunity, and we hope to keep him involved in our program. You just don't find human beings that are the quality of person of Steve Pennington and the influence he's had on kids and what he's done for this football program here. He's just an outstanding man with an outstanding family, and his experience and opinions are so valuable. And we hope he sticks around for us and is here for our kids.
Your staff, will you be bringing anyone with you?
We hope to. We'll evaluate all of that. After Christmas, we'll hit the ground running with that. And we know there's some. The staff is made up of some quality guys, but we also want some newness. You've got multiple plans based on the situations that arise to create opportunities for new guys. So we're looking forward to doing that. We're not going to get in a hurry. We understand the timetable with 5 to 6 months of school left to get that done. So we've got multiple plans to make sure that happens.
Your philosophy on offense and defense?
Defensively will be very similar to what it's been here. With a lot of my own takes. What Coach Pennington's done here defensively, and what I've done defensively since I've been gone from here, is the same thing. Dates all the way back to Coach Busby's time. And it's sound, fundamental defense, physical defense. In order to do that, we have to be strong in the weight room. Our strength and conditioning, convincing those kids to take on that physical and mentality. So that's what we want to instill. Offensively, I've always been multiple. When I say multiple, it's based on the skill sets that your kids have. We don't want to ask our kids to do something that they can't do. And with the multiplicity in offenses nowadays, it's very easy to structure what you do around your kids' capabilities. So we'll evaluate all that before we do.
He make the free throw. Statesboro up 2 with 8 seconds to go, but Rodriguez will come through with the dagger.
Serving this community for 50 years.
This one from about 30 feet away, and Statesboro falls 62-61.
Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
To stay ahead, a parent has to really be on the go and stop for school, stop for sports, stop for an intervention. But you don't have to stop for banking. To stay ahead with mobile online banking, bank ahead with Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
We know how important your family is to you, which is why family medicine is so important to us. At TRICARE Family Medicine, we'll see that your family is in the best possible health. We offer a fun and friendly environment and are now accepting new pediatric and adult patients. Come experience the difference today. Let our family take care of your family at TRICARE Family Medicine, the official family practice of Georgia Southern Athletics.
All right, it's that time of the show once again. We have Jennifer Hirsch here to make her picks. We're still all off. Jennifer lost 1 week of picks. The good news is the picks that she did have, she was 9-3. Best week of the year. I don't know where they came from. She might have just made them up. I don't know. But she did good. 9-3. So right now, Josh didn't have a good week last week. Yeah. Josh only won 5 games last week. So Jennifer might legitimately win the picks this year. It's all up to this week's pick, so we're going to have to reveal this in January, but Jennifer's picks are brought to you by
Lee Hill and Johnson.
All right, and we're wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Jennifer brought a special guest who's never been on TV.
She's a traveling baby, and she came from Missouri, and then that's where her real mama lives. And so
she's a Cabbage Patch.
She's a Cabbage Patch, and
her name
she's
is
Kinley.
There you go.
And she travels all over the world. And
first time on TV.
First time on television.
So we're going to see if Kinley brings her good luck like Gus did.
Yes.
Remember Gus? He didn't bring you such good luck.
Yeah, but this is totally a different story because she's been everywhere.
All right. She's been everywhere. Now she's been on Upon Further Review. We got some picks. We have a few college picks for some bowl games coming up, and then we got a pro picks. All right, Jennifer, we start off Louisiana Tech getting 5 points. They're taking on Navy. Navy is not bringing anybody down to Georgia Southern. That's official now. So who you got? Navy, Louisiana Tech.
You know, I was thinking about it, and here we
go.
So wait a minute.
Navy lost to Army.
So right, but I just have to confirm something.
Right.
Paul Johnson is
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
But he used to be at Navy.
But he used to be at Navy.
Correct.
Okay, so now Navy's head coach, I think, is.
You try to make me say his name, and we might have some issues here.
I don't really know.
Ken Niamanarolo, something like that. Ivan Jasper's there. He used to be at Georgia Southern.
Yes,
but you're not picking him.
I'm not picking Navy. I'm going Louisiana Tech this
All right, I think
5 points. Wow.
Navy lost to Army. They've got to bounce back. I'm taking Navy. Ohio getting 5 against Troy from the Sun Belt Conference. Troy, the big win. Georgia Southern knocked off Troy. Who do you like?
I'm going with Ohio.
I think I'm going with you. I think Troy might be in a little tailspin here. Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Getting 4 points, taking on NC State. Usually Jennifer likes those points.
NC State, I'm going for it.
I gotta go.
Let me tell everybody, all my fans and friends and family, why I'm going with NC State. Because Scotty McCreery, country boy, went there for his high school, y'all. And he's
there in college?
He went to college there.
All right.
He graduated.
All right.
Way to go, Scotty.
All right, way to go, Scotty. Now we got Miami of Ohio. They're getting a whole lot of points. We know how you like the points. They're getting 14. They're taking on Mississippi State, SEC school. What you think?
Okay, so I did some research, and it looks like Missouri State has lost a couple
Mississippi
of games.
State.
Mississippi State.
And they have lost a couple of games.
I have been out of range these days, and I just ain't thinking right. But anyway.
Mississippi State.
I think they really have lost.
They probably lost more than Miami of Ohio. But they play in a tougher conference.
Miami
of Ohio. I got Mississippi State. I think they play in a tougher conference. Eastern Michigan taking on Old Dominion, a former team that Georgia Southern used to play. Now the Monarchs are taking on Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan's getting 5. Who you like?
Try to say that 5 times. I'm going to go with Eastern Michigan this time.
I'm going with ODU. All right, we're going into the pros here, Jennifer. I know you pay attention to the pros.
Yes.
And Kinley pays attention to the pros?
Yes, she does.
All right, so you got Chicago getting 3 against Washington. Washington lost Monday Night Football.
Washington Redskins. I don't know how in the world y'all lost that game, but hello, because I was there at my house watching y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all screwed up bad.
They did.
So, just for that, I'm not picking you this week. I'm picking Chicago all the way.
Golly, I hate to do this because Chicago
do
home, but
do it.
I'm going for the bounce back for Washington.
Whatever.
Carolina just beat your team from Washington, and now they're playing your other favorite team from Atlanta. Who you like? You haven't picked them all year.
I had not, because here's the reason. They've been screwing me up.
They've been screwing you up because you've been picking against them.
They screwed me up lately.
All right, so who you taking?
I'm going for Atlanta this week.
All right, now I'm going against you. Carolina +3. Green Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota's getting 6. They got Adrian Peterson and Jarrett McKinnon playing running back. Who you like?
Okay.
Green Bay's got Aaron Rodgers.
Who do you like?
Who'd she say?
She's saying Green Bay. We're
All
going
right.
Green Bay this
Well, I got to agree with her there. Oakland and Indy. Indy's getting 4. We know we got to pick.
You know, guys.
Got to stick with your pick.
You know, guys, my dad would have been proud no matter what I'm standing right now.
Right.
No matter what place I'm standing right now.
Right.
But my daddy would have been proud because he would always talk about to me off air saying, "Oh, Jennifer," or he would say, he'd get so excited and he said, "Let's talk about Peyton Manning."
All right.
Peyton Manning was on Indy then. So for y'all out there, I'm going to go with Indy for 4 points.
All right. I'm staying with Oakland, but Indy's a good pick for you. Seattle, Arizona. Arizona's getting 7.
Okay, I'm going to go with Seattle on this one.
I am too. I've got a lot of left picks here. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Pittsburgh is giving Baltimore 5 points. Who you like?
Okay, so me and Kinley.
Yeah.
What is it, Kinley?
Together.
Go ahead and show 'em. Okay, it's Baltimore.
It's Baltimore. I'm going to agree with you one more time. New England and the Jets. The Jets are getting how many points?
16 points.
That's a lot of points, isn't it? What do you and Kinley say?
Okay, for one thing, I do have to say this because I was talking to one of my fans earlier and I told them that I would say this.
Okay.
New England. When you have New England team, that is the Brady Bunch.
That is.
You are a loser.
They just won.
Okay, that was
They beat Denver.
One game.
All right.
So I'm going to get some this week. I may be wrong on this one. Help me, Lord. So New York Jets.
All right, I'm taking New England, even though that's a lot of points. Final game, Dallas-Detroit. Dallas is giving Detroit 7. Who you like in this one?
Well,
Dallas bounced back and they won this past week.
they did, and I'm proud of it, honey, because I'm going with Dallas.
All right, Tony Romo looks pretty good over there in his hat. I'm taking Dallas 2, giving Detroit 7. Jennifer, this is our last picks, but we will return after the break, and we'll be able to present the trophy for the top picker. And it might be a second place trophy that you get, or it might be first, but you'll be on there. All right, that's our last picks for this year, but she will return for the celebration show. For Jennifer, for Alan Tyson, and for Kinley, I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again soon.